Okay, so now we're moving on to step 3, and we're looking at the details and properties of ionic bonds. So you're going through these bullet points. We're talking about ionic bonds that are formed between metals and nonmetals. So we're looking at sodium and chlorine, remember? So sodium is here, Na, Cl is here. So we have a metal and a nonmetal. So that tells us we're going to have an ionic bond. Ionic bonds, right? Electrons are transferred from metal to nonmetal. So that was covered during quarter 3. When a metal transfers its electrons, it becomes a cation. So we talked about that above, right? Metals become ions, they're cations, and they lose electrons. So if a metal transfers its electrons, it's lost electrons, it becomes a cation. When a nonmetal gains electrons from a metal, it becomes an anion. So electrons go from your metal to your nonmetal. We talked about that in step 1. Okay. All right, so question 7 from step 1, which element transfers the electron to the other, right? Go ahead and pause the video, see if you can answer that question. Okay, what makes ionic bonds work? What holds them together are electrostatic forces. Electrostatic forces occur between oppositely charged elements, right? So when elements become charged, when they become ions, the charge is positive, one charge is positive, one charge is negative, and that holds it together. If you'll remember the demonstration I did in class, I took a balloon, I rubbed it with a rabbit fur, which made it negatively charged. I held it over the faucet of running water, and that negatively charged balloon attracted the water coming out of the faucet. And that's because water has an end to it that's positively charged, that makes it bend. Okay, so those are those forces, right? That's what's happening. All right, so let's look at question 8. So if we look at step 2, which element is positively charged and which element is negatively charged? Okay, pause the video, look back at the answers you have written down and fill that in. Okay, so now we want to do our summarizing statement using the answers from question 8. And the ionic bond between a blank and a blank, right? What type of elements, right? We're talking about 2 types of elements. And it's held together by a blank charge and a blank charge, okay? So see if you can figure those in, fill those in, all right? Should be hopefully not too bad. All right, now you finished step 3. So at this point, if you're still struggling, just jump in an office hour and we can clarify this. I'll work together with you to fill in all these pieces.